Supreme Court sets scary precedent by allowing presidents, governors with allegiance to other nations. Rose Vivor says. Rose Vivor is the Labour Party governorship candidate in Lagos State that has been contesting the outcome of the governorship election with Sanwo-Olu. And, yesterday now, the Supreme Court has upheld Sanwo-Olu's election as the governor of Lagos State. So Rodvival, I think in the wake of the Supreme Court rulings, Rodvival is now telling Supreme Court that they are setting scary precedents by allowing presidents, governors with allegiances to other nations. Can you imagine? That is people who have visas, double citizenship, Abi. Now, wow. But let's go into the details to see exactly what Gbadebo Revival is trying to say. Gbadebo Revival, Lagos Labour Party's governorship candidate, has berated the Supreme Court for upholding Babajide Sanwo-Olu's electoral victory, accusing the Apex Court of setting a scary precedent that would see dual citizens become president or governors in the country. Even when the law does not allow it. Today, the Supreme Court set a precedent. A governor or a president can have multiple allegiances to states and to states other than Nigeria and still be the chief security officer of Lagos or Nigeria. Mr. Rosvival said, sharing a screenshot of Section 182 Nigerian Constitution. Okay. Now, the Section 182 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, subsection 1, no person shall be qualified for election to the office of governor of a state if A, he is subject to the provisions of Section 28 of this Constitution, if he has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of a country other than Nigeria, or except in such cases as may be prescribed by the National Assembly, he has made a declaration of allegiance to such other country. Oh boy. So Rosvival, in a statement after the Apex Court affirmed Mr. Sanwo-Olu's victory on Friday, said, while I submit to this shocking decision of the Supreme Court, I worry for what this precedent holds for future generations, being led by leaders with conflict of interest and loyalty. There is no liberal democracy that will accept to be led by an individual who has sworn an oath of allegiance to another country. Citizens should not have to contemplate the loyalty of their commander-in-chief or the chief security officer of their state. That said, as the court pleases, he added. So Mr. Sanwo-Olu polled a total of 762,134 votes to defeat Mr. Rosvival, who polled 312,329 votes, and Abdulaziz Adediran Jandor of the People Democratic Party, who polled 62,449 votes. Now, legal talks over the March 2023 governorship election came to an end after the Supreme Court upheld Mr. Sanwo-Olu's victory, dismissing petitions from two opposition candidates, Mr. Rosvival and People Democratic Party, Mr. Adediran Jandor. So with what the Supreme Court, like I said earlier, with what the Supreme Court has ruled on now, affirming Sanwo-Olu as the governor of Lagos State, Revival is now like telling them, you have set a very bad precedent. You are just allowing people that have allegiance to other countries by way of citizenship to rule Nigeria. And there's a section of Nigerian Constitution that does not allow that, because the people should not worry about the allegiance of whoever that's leading them to a Nigerian state. Okay, so but with this ruling that Supreme Court has done, it means that you're setting a bad precedent, because people with dual citizenship can be president of this country, Nigeria, and can be governors of any state in Nigeria. That is a very bad precedent to set. Okay, that's exactly what Rodrigo is saying here. We understand that Rodrigo actually lost the election of 2023 governorship election to Sanwo-Olu, and then he had to challenge the case in court, and both the tribunal and the appeal court, they all gave the victory to Sanwo-Olu, and he then the Rodrigo appealed the judgment of the appeal court at the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court had done the final ruling that Sanwo-Olu is the authentic governor of Lagos State. Okay, so with all of this being done now, that court case is practically over. It's practically over, and I don't think the Supreme Court is the apex court of Nigeria, is the highest court. There's no other court to go again. So it therefore means that Revival need to take it the way it is, just like he said. He has accepted his fate, but he's just letting the Supreme Court know that has setting a bad precedent, by having people who have allegiance with other nations to be a governor or a leader in Nigeria. Okay, there's a section, other sections of Constitution have quoted. Again, did the appeal court and the Supreme Court see all those things? Is it that Sanwo-Olu is a citizen of United States? Probably. Is Tinubu a citizen of United States or a citizen of Guinea, like he had a Guinean passport? But I learned the Guinean passport that expired, though it's renewable. But if it expired, does that remove his citizenship? That again, we don't know. So all these judges that are investigating matter, I think it's also good for them to also do their own in-depth research as well into the people that are judging their case, to ensure that what they are being presented to at the court is consistent with what they know or what they have discovered online. Because if the constitution says that anybody that has dual citizenship should not be elected into the office of the president and governor, and then you go ahead to elect such person or uphold such person's victory, is a contravention to the law and the constitution of Nigeria. That is the truth. That is a contravention. So now, with all the cases that Supreme Court settled yesterday, that has put all governorship, challenges to an end, because we saw Lagos State cases ended with Sanwo-Olu being retained as governor. Kano State is ended as Supreme Court affirmed Abba Yusuf as the authentic governor, the NNPP candidate. And then in Zamfara, we've seen that Dauda Lawal of PDP has been retained as the governor of the state by the Supreme Court, okay, throwing away the petition of Bello Matawale in that state. And then the same thing in the Plateau State, we have also seen how Caleb Motwang of PDP is now retained as the governor of Plateau State, throwing away the petition of the APC counterpart. So with all of this, I think probably this is a product of that meeting that all the governors went to visit Tinubu in Lagos. I'm sure this is probably part of the thing that I've discussed, and the Supreme Court have been asked to whatever that is presented, retain all those people so we can have peace in those states. I remember the case of Kano, where Kano people are saying that if they remove Abba Yusuf from that seat, they should get ready for civil war from Kano. And that was a very serious threat. I mean it. So it was a very serious threat, as it was mentioned in Kano. So with all of this now, Revival, this is the end of this challenge. Let's get ready for 2027 again. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.